guys. Thank you very much for joining me this time. Today we're going to talk about bends. How is your bend game, right? There are many ways, different techniques to bend a string. I'm going to run through a couple of them and give you a little bit of background on kind of why they're important or why we should learn how to do them. First off, what is a bend? A bend is when you're literally taking your finger and you're fretting it, and then you're going to bend it up to a different tone. It could be the next note up in the scale. It could be a semitone. It could be halfway to the next note, or it could be all the way, right? So let's take the A minor pentatonic shape that we all know and love, right? 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay? I'm going to focus on the G string, these two frets, 5 and 7. This is just for this example. Now, the next note up on the G string in the A minor pentatonic scale is the 9th fret. So you've got, okay, those are 3 notes in the A minor pentatonic scale. A quick example of a bend, right? You're on the 7th fret G string and you bend that note up to the 9th. That might be a little sharp. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can do it slow, and you can give it a little wiggle at the top, or you can do it fast. Right? It all depends on what mood you're trying to go for. You can bend the note and then bring it down again, right? Again, you can do it fast or slow. Slow, or you could also pre-bend. You can bend the string up to that 9th, right? So I'm there already. I've got the string bent. I'm on the 7th fret, but it sounds like the 9th. Now, you could pre-bend. You bend it, and you leave it there, and then you go, right? There's an example of that in the intro of Gravity from John Mayer. He goes like that, right? So that when I first started playing, those were very difficult for me to get right. So take your time with it. Practice just bending it up and down, and then maybe bend up, hold it, and then bend it back down. Again, a release, right? Whatever you want to call it. Now, another thing I like to do, I like to bend it up, bring it down, and then pull it off, right? Pull off to the 5th fret. So, and then what I like to do is land on that root. I've talked about this before. When you're soloing or just doing any little riffs, you should always do your best to, maybe not 100% of the time, but 90% of the time, you want to land on the root to give the listener some resolution. Right? You're bending up, you're releasing it, you're pulling off, and then you're hitting the 7th fret on the D string, right? So, and I do that all the time. I know a lot of guitar players do that. And then, as always, I always like to give it a little wiggle. And then you can just repeat it if you want. Or you could just, right? Anything you want to do there. Now, there is another technique that you can do. I'm not very good at it, but David Gilmour comes to mind, where he will bend a note, and then he'll bend it even higher, right? So it'll go something like, something like that, right? Again, I'm not very good at it. One thing I have to say, especially if you're a beginner, it does take some strength to bend these strings, right? You'll see that I'm not doing it with just my one finger. Even though I can, it's awkward. I always put at least my index finger down. I like to bend with my ring finger, but I'm using both of these fingers to actually move the string, right? So now, if it's something that might be difficult, then you can even use all three fingers to help you, right? So you can use your index finger and your ring finger, or if you don't quite have the strength to bend the string like that, then drop your middle finger down and use all three fingers to bend that string. Now another thing you can do is instead of bending one string, you could bend two strings. That's a little bit more difficult, takes a little bit more strength in the fingers, but it is something that players do. I'm going to go with the D and the G string on the 7th fret, because we're in our A minor pentatonic, right? And the way I do it, I'm going to pull it down, right? And maybe it's easier for you to push it up, right? I just have a tendency to pull down instead of push up. That's just kind of how I learned, and it's always kind of stuck. Another thing that you can do is bend a note on one string to match a note on the next string. Let's go with the 10th fret on the G string. I know that's not in our pentatonic shape, but you're just hitting it for a fraction of a second to bend it up to the B string 8th fret tone. So you're gonna start here, but you're gonna bend it up to here. Those are the same tone. This is what it sounds like. We're gonna do our best not to move our index finger, and we're gonna push our ring finger up like that, and then after we bend it, we're gonna hit that. Okay, so then my last video talked about double stops. You could do this double stop here, keep both of these fingers on 8, bend the 10th fret up to the 12th. I'm sure you've heard that before. So that's another technique as well. Go ahead and give those things a try, incorporate them into your everyday playing or your everyday practice. I hope this lesson helped, guys. As always, please like, subscribe. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Keep practicing. I'll see you next time.